Hey, it's me, Esther, the founder and creative director here at Serif Design. Before we jump into today's conversation, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of what the chat is about. So, today we are talking with one of our previous clients, and Kathryn Rice from Global Doula Project, all about her process of working with us to support her brand identity, her strategic messaging, and website design and development. We're going to go through an overview of the process and some of the things that she learned when working with us and how she felt coming out of it, some of the toolkit that she was able to leave with, and the confidence and clarity that she felt after working with us. If you have any questions about our design process, or if you're interested in working with Serif Design for your design project, we would love to chat with you. So reach out to us. The email is down below. And otherwise, enjoy this conversation. Hi guys, I am so excited to be welcoming Anne Kathryn Rice of Global Doula Project on today to chat through all things her project with us. Let me do an intro of Global Doula Project before we jump into our conversation. So the Global Doula Project is a nonprofit organization that funds doula organization, provides scholarships for individuals worldwide, and makes doula support really affordable and accessible to families all around the world. But aside from just the funding, they invest in studies, education, advocacy, and really public education about the doula profession. So Anne Kathryn has recently started a podcast called Birth, Death, and Doulas, which educates families, healthcare providers, policymakers, and anyone working with new families on the importance of social support around the times of birth and death. So really just an all-encompassing, let's talk about doula organizations. And that's what you do. So I'd love for you to introduce yourself in Kathryn and the work that you do.
Sure. Thank you, Esther. What a nice introduction. This Global Doula Project is definitely my baby. I've got my daughter here in the background wandering around. She's my third. So the Global Doula Project is like baby number 4. I became a doula myself, a birth and postpartum doula, after giving birth in Italy. I'm originally from Tennessee, and I just realized there was something missing in the whole maternity experience. I felt like something huge and sacred had happened, but no one was really talking about that aspect of it. It was more about was the baby feeding and was the baby sleeping, and not much about me. So I became a doula when I realized that this would be a really powerful way to help families. And I was opened my eyes to this whole world of support that I feel like we are meant to have around birth and postpartum and perinatal loss as well. A lot of times people feel isolated in these times. And when my dad was diagnosed with cancer and then eventually passed away, I was with him at his death. And again, I felt the same sacred moment of this deserves so much honoring and support. And there's not really a lot of attention around that. There's a lot of beeping machines and calling the funeral home and figuring things out and dealing with grief in a kind of quiet way. So when he left the Rice Family Fund, which is for charity and educational purposes, I thought I've got to do something with doulas. The world needs more doulas. And that's how we got started.
The world really does need more doulas. I think over the course of our project, I even learned a lot about doulas specifically. There's not a lot out there about death doulas. There's a lot out there about birth and postpartum, but there's so much to be shared with the whole life process. So I love what you're doing. Can you talk a little bit about the starting of the organization and just the first initial stages before you even hired us on?
Yeah, I bought Nonprofits for Dummies book and I learned about, what paperwork and board members and legally what needs to happen to form a nonprofit. So I definitely started from zero. I started with 100% passion and 0% know-how. But I'm a fast learner and I have a lot of support from family and friends and people in the community, other doulas. And this was definitely a team effort of getting everything we needed to start. My mind goes at a mile a minute and I want to do all the things all the time. And I'm so excited about, future partnerships and things we could sell and events that we could have and retreats we can do. And every time we have a board meeting, my board members are like, and Kathryn, okay, calm down, one thing at a time. And with you, I felt like I could just sort of like open up my brain and be like, here it is. Just look, I'm so excited about all of these things. These are all of the things that we've done. Um, mind moving a mile a minute, and can you translate it into an elevator speech for me? Because if somebody runs into me in an elevator and asks what the Global Doula Project does, I wouldn't know how to convert all this passion into like a 2 minute mission statement. And you guys really helped with that.
That's awesome. How do you feel like, or what are the emotions that you felt like when you first saw the messaging come through?
I felt understood. That was huge because um, I feel like other people that I've told about the mission who aren't doulas or people that are not part of the project themselves, that I was able to explain pieces of it, and that would be interesting to people, but I wasn't able to give an overview of it very well. And so when I saw that you and the copywriter were able to give an overview and really capture all of it, maybe I was also in disbelief because I didn't really think it could be done. I thought I've got like a million boxes in my mind open at this moment. How can you possibly fit all that into one mission statement? And you did it.
So it sounds like it gave you just a lot of clarity and the tools you needed to be able to share that from that point on, right?
Yeah. Clarity is a good word. Clarity and yeah, I'm just really delighted that the packaging kind of fit the passion.
Was there anything that you learned about the Global Doula Project itself through the process that like got really uncovered through it?
Maybe I'm not alone with other nonprofit founders that you're you're always trying to do better and you're noticing what hasn't been done and what can be better. I was constantly thinking, oh, we're missing, we need our strategic plan, we need a theory of change, we need um a like candid transparency sticker. There's so many things we need in order to be revered in the nonprofit world. We're not there. We're not there, but we will get there. We're not, but the focus was on we're not there yet. We will be one day.
Yeah, but it is those slow steps, right? And it's not unlike just a business in general, too, where a business who's starting up is like, I don't know what I'm doing. We're just kind of going through the motions. And oh my gosh, this other organization is doing this, or this other brand is doing this. I should do that too. And there's always a never-ending list of to-dos and wishful thinking. And like you said, you're not there yet, but you'll continuously make little steps to get there.
Yeah, and when I first saw what you guys had put together with all of the information that I sent over, it was the first time that I thought, "Oh, we have done a lot and we are doing a lot, and I should stop and be proud of what we've created so far." something that you guys helped us with, but we start just getting an identity, like a brand identity. I didn't call it brand identity before I met you, but I called it, who are we? When people hear Global Doula Project, what emotions are we invoking? Like, I wanted it to be inspiring. I wanted to people to say, I should have a doula, or my daughter should have a doula, or I should become a doula. This is so needed. Like, I wanted people to get excited about it, as much as I was. And so that was kind of the driving force. And then when we found Sereth Design, I thought this is like the extra step that we need to just put all of this passion together in a nice, neat little package.
Yeah, it's funny that you didn't call it brand identity. That's something that, of course, we worked with you on through the project. We expanded on your brand identity. So you already had a logo, but there wasn't much more to that, right? There wasn't the storytelling, the messaging, the how the colors look together and how did the fonts look together, like all these pieces that sometimes are overlooked, especially for nonprofits. We think we have such a mission, like our mission should carry us through everything, but that is a huge piece of it. That's a big necessary piece, but you also do need the way you communicate to people, right? How do you feel that your new website has impacted your organization?
I think people just, when they land on it, they just understand immediately what we do. There's someone on our board who works in communications, and so she has a lot of experience with web designers. And when she saw our website, she sort of couldn't believe like the depth that you went into each section and how it's created with love and care. So I would almost put Seraph design in like a different category than just like Googling a web designer and like putting up a web page. Because the journey that we took with you and your team was, there was a lot of self-reflection involved, and what you did to put everything in its own special category with its own special look. I mean, you really have to do that. Like, you have to care a lot. So, yeah, I would say to someone who is thinking about doing like a redesign to maybe consider that as part of the like a great part of your service, is that you kind of take people by the hand and like walk them through and help them see their organization from another perspective.
That is such kind words. Thank you. I do think it's part of the journey, right? Like experiencing digging really deep into who you are and then being able to translate that to viewers. Like you said, it's not just a let's slap a pretty website up and get you going, right? Like it's intentional and it's thoughtful.
And you have to know who you are. I mean, this is more for, I guess, maybe no, maybe for any organization. I mean, anything. If even if you're selling shoes, like, you have a mission, and you really have to understand in a deep way the purpose of that mission and why you're there to do that, before before putting up a thoughtful website, because the website's going to reflect, it's just going to be a better website if you start from that point of self-understanding. And if you're not in the understanding stage yet, it's okay, but like, you guys can help also in that process. Like, you don't have to have it all figured out before putting up the website. You can also kind of dig deep and figure out what your priorities are in the process.
When we think about websites, it's the all-encompassing experience, right? It's the user journey of when people jump onto the website. And like you said, they get a really clear understanding of who you are, but it's also that messaging and making sure that at every touch point, they're so clear on what you do, who you serve, how you do it, right? And I think that was our big focus for your project is to make people really feel seen and feel heard and that they understand um, what they're getting into and how they see the Global Doula Project.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've noticed any changes on how people have responded, whether it's through the website, through social media, email, or anything else that you're super proud of since launching?
Yes, actually, more people have been noting to me the similarities between birth and death. And a lot, like several people have said to me, finally, people are talking about these two things in the same sentence because, everybody is born, everybody will die, and let's talk about it. Like, mind blown. A lot of people are like, "Whoa, mind blown. Let's talk about it in the same sentence." It's right there on the same website. It's one organization supporting both. And I think before our old website, that wasn't that clear. Now it is.
Thank you for sharing your experience with the process of working with us. I'd love to leave our viewers with one word or phrase of how the experience as a whole has been, and then after that, one word or phrase of what you're really excited about for the future of Global Doula Project.
I would say mind opening. And for the future, definitely connecting with other like-minded people. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without a good website because how are the like-minded people going to find us if it's not clear who we are? So now that it's clear, we can really be connected to people who also have the same passion.
Yeah, I love that. I'm so excited for you guys and for what's still to come. I love being part of your journey here and in the future, and just continue to support you guys as you continue to grow. So, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a client. I'm so grateful for you.
You're welcome. Well, we're so grateful for you too, and look forward to keeping you as our support for many years to come.
Absolutely. Lastly, can you tell viewers how they can connect with you and then also about your podcast?
Sure. So Global Doula Project is globaldoulaproject.org, and you can have a look there for the podcast and for information about scholarships and resources and funding. And the podcast is Birth, Death, and Doulas. And please send me an email at info@globaldoulaproject.org if you would like to share your story.